Welcome, champions! My name is Margaret, and I'm coming to you live from the Codename Entertainment Studio in beautiful Victoria, BC, Canada. Before we begin, I'd like to thank D&D for hosting us on the official D&D Twitch channel. It is and always will be an honor to be here. Shout out as well to Erica and Sasha, helping to co-produce and moderate the stream with me. And without further ado, let me bring on Dylan and unmute him. Now he just likes to sit in silence to troll me a little bit.
No, I saw that you were unmuted by host, and I was like,
So welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Wonderful day.
It's quite nice, actually. I'm sitting here looking, the window is on the other side of the screen. I'm like, I could be out there.
Outside?
Doing another socially distant walk in the popular garden neighborhood I live in.
Yes. But you're here streaming with us. I see many of our regulars in here in chat. We've got Glacier, Michael USA, Owen, of course, Garwar.
Aogain, welcome.
Welcome, Aogain. No, I can't call him Aogain. I'm sorry. It's just not happening.
Vulcan's fault.
Welcome. So how are you enjoying the Great Modron March?
It's good. Since the event came out, I've been idling in the Raven variant, building up my beast skills on Zorbu. So I don't know how many I have now, but a lot more than when I started with. And I imagine there's a few other people doing that too.
I did that for a while. It was great, and then I wanted to do other things, so I stopped.
I did all the other variants first, and then this one. So I just sat it there. Yeah, why not? Take advantage of it while we can before Zorbu gets nerfed.
Yeah.
We don't have any planned nerfs, by the way. Just saying that. At some point, I mean, come on. He's so good.
Shinobi 233 is smiling so hard that their face is going to get cramps. Well, that sounds uncomfortable but delightful. So, welcome.
Yeah, congratulations on whatever is making you smile hard.
Yeah.
Smile hard. That sounds weird.
Yeah. And Kuvu Plan is saying that getting the patron weekly chores done and farming ravens is difficult. Yeah, it's sort of a how long are you willing to idle?
Yeah, it's funny actually. I found it in a way like it challenges your patience to idle in an idle game. Like you want to idle, but you have this almost like pathological need to complete adventures, reset, get your gems, go do all your stuff, and to completely let that go in order to farm one specific thing is weird. It's a little weird.
Yeah, I stopped at E5, I believe. So and I started at something like 100. I was like, okay, I've been at my wall for a while. That's fine. That's fine. I want to do other things.
I only really use my potions for events. Just push as far as you can. I mean, if I can get to, I think I idled up to 680 or something like that. I don't know. But if I'm getting there, that means players are getting to like 800 plus probably. And when I say players, I mean the hardcores. I mean players like Ronan.
Ooh, Sean sassing us saying that you have time to play. We're like, yeah.
I'm sorry, do you not have the game open all the time, Sean? Because I do.
Aren't you like testing things, checking things?
Yeah.
Come on, Sean. Multitask. Yeah.
And I just took a few extra days off to extend my weekend because work-life balance is weird right now when you're working and living at home. And the grind was killing me, also having a newborn. But, I didn't play a lot of games. I read a lot of books and had long walks and spent more time with my kid and stuff like that. Yeah, getting used to the walks in the neighborhood. They just keep getting longer and longer. But every time I push the stroller up the hill, it's heavier than it was the time before that. So it's kind of.
I've heard children do those things.
They just grow. Yeah. I guess they tell you to expect that your child will lose up to 10% of their body weight in the week following being born. Like it's pretty regular that they just dip before they start gaining weight. My daughter never lost an ounce, was gaining weight within 2 days. Like, just, yeah, which is great. No complaints here. But we're starting to realize that she's a rarefied statistical anomaly in terms of size and weight for her age range. So it's interesting.
Amazing.
Anyways,
But
that has
she's
nothing
healthy.
to do with Idle Champions.
She's healthy, and that's wonderful. So
That is the only thing you can hope for right now. Yeah.
And yeah, there's some conversation in chat about we should be the DM show for,
The DM show?
Yeah, Dylan and Margaret. DM.
Oh. That's an interesting that you mentioned that, because we were actually just talking about alternating, and so we have like a week, an odd and even week show. I don't know how to describe it, but like two different shows, each hosted by one of us. Because right now it's two hosts on a show, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of like we don't want to step on each other's toes, and I don't want to take over each other's place. So it's maybe alternating might be a nice solution. Keep things fresh and novel.
Yeah.
Hi, Melanie. Thanks for joining us. And Vagabundo Errante.
Ah.
Yeah.
I see R Green Paradox, Michael USA, Ragnats, Garwar, Supli. There's so many people. It's nice to see the same faces, same names over and over.
Yes. It's wonderful to see everyone. And
we appreciate that people are willing to come back.
Yes. It's like, it's nice to see and hang out with people at the same time every week. It's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Played a lot of D&D on my days off, actually.
Ooh, how did that go?
DMing 2 campaigns right now. One is Descend into Avernus. The other one is Dragon Heist.
Yes.
The Dragon Heist one, I got to enjoy the delicious moment where they've hit level 5 and they try to fireball a mage who just counterspells them, which was, as a DM, very satisfying. But they managed to make it through that encounter with no casualties. Not flying hard. And the other one is good. It's interesting. I was lucky in that one of the players picked a pretty unique race and class combo as a warlock. They're a changeling warlock, but they're in the Forgotten Realms, and changelings are in the Eberron book.
Yes.
But they just, like, that's what interested them. They want to be a totally overpowered party face who can change their appearance, and they even picked the actor feat at level 4, which is super obnoxious. But they did no research into, nor did they choose who their patron was or any of that stuff. So I get to play with it, and her knowledge of D&D lore isn't that deep. And so she has no idea who her patron is, but her husband, one of my oldest best friends, also can't figure it out, and it's driving him mad.
Oh no!
Because like every session, I'm like, here's another little hint at who the patron is. He's like, damn it, who is it? I'm like, you'll figure it out eventually. Yeah, but really enjoying getting to share the storytelling aspect of that. It's fun.
Captain Blood has a question for us, asking if they should be completing adventures when they can, or pushing to as high as a level as they can each time. Which, that's going to depend on what your objective. For something without any restrictions, I would highly recommend to push as far as you can. If you're playing a variant that's more difficult, and you're not pushing to a new area or hitting your wall, I would suggest completing it when you can and moving on to something new. Unless you have an alternate plan in that variant, like in the Unkindness of Ravens variant of Jaheira. Jaheira's variant in this event, where a lot of people are farming beast kills for their Zorbu based on the Ravens. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything to add?
So like when to stop and reset and when to finish variants is like, it's so subjective based on what you're trying to get done. I usually, my unlock adventure for unlocking a champion in an event is when I dump the most time and effort and like push as far as I can, even though it's slower. Because I drop all my familiars, I use a whole bunch of potions and, click damage and so on. And I just try to get as far as I can to build up that early favor. And then I'll usually even do another free play to push that further. before trying to complete the other adventures. And then depending on how quickly, how many tokens you have, kind of just dictates the order. Yeah, it's very much up to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Normally, I would just finish all the variants and then leave a free play farming for a long time. But this time I did it the other way around just so I could farm beasts.
Makes perfect sense.
Yep, gotta kill them beasts.
Yeah, but speaking of beasts and druids in Jaheira, I was playing Strahd this past weekend, DMing it, and I'm going to take a note of personal pride in the fact that I've never had my party go so quick from, okay, we need to interrogate this NPC, but not necessarily kill them, to, no, we absolutely need to kill her in about 10 seconds. The druid that they captured, I ended up playing as a valley girl, and I could just see the entire party just like in
Clueless.
Yes, exactly like so, are these herbs that you gathered, did you gather them in a farm or in a forest? And no, it was a short life for that druid. A very short life.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. It's like, you have rations that you bought in a shop? Don't you know that hunting is the much better way to go? I can't believe you don't gather your own food.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Oh man, yeah. I love picking archetypes to go for NPCs. I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything in the Descent into Baldur's Gate campaign, but there's this very obvious, charming, roguish character that you can encounter relatively early on, and I modeled this personality after Gilderoy Lockhart in the second Harry Potter.
Fantastic.
And like the players just hated him so fast. It was really enjoyable, and up to and including when they eventually do attack. They did eventually attack him. Just like turning him into just the biggest coward who's like crying and like begging. It just it was satisfying. It was fun.
Yes. No, it was great, and yeah, the party killed her really, really quickly after that.
Oh man.
Nightmare 937 is asking, can't wait to get these champs on my new Switch account. Any ETA on the patch? Unfortunately, I don't have an ETA on that, but we are eager to get those to you as soon as we can. And
yeah, I don't know the exact date on that. Just that it is coming.
It is coming, and I think I can say this without internal pitchforks coming for me, but the next event will be on Switch. So
yes,
that's the last that we've heard.
Yeah. There's the joys of producing stuff for multiple platforms and different approval windows and review processes, and just it's fun. Ragnar is asking us, so CNA folks, is there something that you know now, game related, that you wish you knew 3 years ago? Game related, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Me personally, I found that as somebody who had never played an idle/clicker type game before, everything about resetting was really counterintuitive to me. It did not make sense to my brain at first. And if I had grasped it right away, it would have made everything way easier at the start. Because it didn't make sense. I tend to play a lot of games that are a little bit more that don't involve any kind of resetting.
More like Active Flash.
So that was the thing that I think I would have liked to have known. That and just gameplay wise, like there's always stuff that we're hoping to accomplish, and just kind of we have all these features that we want to do, and we have all these plans for the game, and like I would have liked to have known 3 years ago a better idea of when we would be leaving early access, which is a relatively recent thing.
I would have liked to know about the game 3 years ago as opposed to now, considering they've only been here.
Yeah.
I haven't been here a year yet, so.
Could have distracted you from your finishing your masters.
That'd be fun. Ish. Maybe. I'd still like the masters in the end, but we'll see. But yeah, it would have been great to have known about this game sooner. Dread Cactus 2020 is asking, is it worth saving patron currency for the shiny potion or just keep buying the weekly epics?
I don't spend mine on potions. I buy time gate pieces, but that's about it.
But the potion of polish.
Oh, the potion of polish.
Which I would say, there's not a lot.
Yeah, you only get to get one of them, so it's worth having. They're tricky in that you don't have control over where it's going to land. It's only going to land where there isn't already a gilded piece of equipment, something that's either silver or gold, and so across all of your characters. So it's a little random.
It's a little RNG.
Yeah. I know a lot of players who had way more discipline than I will ever have, who waited until their entire core roster was in epics and shiny from silver chests and gold chests over however long it took them before they opened any of their potions of polish. So if you have that kind of discipline, kudos. I don't. Yeah,
I'm amazed by the discipline a lot of our players have. It's props.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's the kind of game that attracts people who are disciplined and detail oriented, but it's still impressive.
And TK Theus is asking, how often do you guys raise soft capped? I was watching older guide videos and saw the older caps were lower. So it looks like maybe once or twice a year we raise them.
That sounds about right. Yeah. We did one in March with the Spring Extravaganza. There's a good chance we'll do another one this year. But I wouldn't expect them too regular because it's a pretty significant amount of progress that people are able to make each time it happens. It makes a huge difference.
It's definitely something that's full part of part of the balance of the game. So it's
and it's also each time it's done, it's an even bigger undertaking than it was the time before because there are the extra champions added to it. Like it used to be something that Justin does in an afternoon, and now it's not.
No.
Yeah.
And Ennos has a question: is Idle Champions a free-to-play friendly game? Can free players have the same stuff that whales have, or even though it'll be slower? And mostly yes. There's a few things that are purchased, like the golden epics, but there are a lot of opportunities to get really good gear and chests for free, or it just takes time, and sometimes quite a bit of time to go through get champions geared up through time gates and whatnot. But yeah, we take being not pay to win quite seriously.
They're, with few exceptions, you can complete pretty much all of the content in the game without putting any money into it. And I mean, some other players could explain it better. There are players who like to do things like gearless accounts, and they can complete most of the content in the game without even opening chests or using anything, just through building up favor, purchasing blessings, all the stuff that you have easy access to. So, it's important to us that people are rewarded for the time that they invest and that they're able to complete everything in the game if they put the time in. But yeah, when it comes to certain cosmetic items, some familiars and golden gilded equipment, those are things that are, in most cases only available through purchases.
Yes, and a follow-up question from M7V series of numbers. Dylan mentioned buying timegate pieces. How do you do that? And you can buy timegate pieces through in-game currency as opposed to real money through the patrons. And
One per patron per week. Yeah.
One per patron per week. And also they appear occasionally in wild offers.
Yeah. So if you're early enough into the game that you haven't unlocked any patrons yet, that's not really open to you. But it eventually does. And then you're getting, enough time gate pieces to open a time gate every other week on top of the time gates that naturally open every 3 weeks, on top of the drop rate of time gate pieces, which is one every 4 to 5 days or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Romans44 is asking what the benefit of resetting is.
Each time you reset your adventure, the amount of gold you've accumulated will be converted into divine favor for the deity associated with that campaign. So if you're playing Grand Tour of the Sword Coast, it's Torm. And then it adds up. And what that does is it gives you a infinitely stacking buff that increases the amount of gold that drops during adventures tied to that deity. So, it's kind of the part that allows you to both, kill one monster and kill the first monster. They normally drop 1 gold the first time you play.
Yes.
And then you get a whole bunch of favor. Eventually it gets to the point where you kill that monster and he drops 100,000 gold, 1,000,000 gold, whatever. And you're able to purchase more champions more quickly, upgrades more quickly. And it just kind of speeds up every aspect of the process in building out your formation and making progress through areas. And on top of that, you eventually are able to start purchasing blessings for those campaigns, for the core campaigns, that will allow you to power up your party even more. And some of them are global blessings that will apply to everything that you do. And so, ultimately, the favor grind is really beneficial for increasing the power of your characters, because what you want to eventually be able to do is have purchased all of the blessings from each of the permanent campaigns. As well, you want to easily be able to hit the soft cap, like the maximum level at which you receive upgrades from leveling up your champions, the soft cap, because you can level them past that, but it's not as worth it. But you want to eventually be able to make it to the soft cap relatively easily and push all the way to your wall each run. So it takes weeks/months to build it up to max out campaigns, but there's a couple times where you're able to really leap ahead significantly. There's a few champions you can unlock that are going to dramatically increase your progress, champions like Krull and Zorbu, but also once you reach the point where you're able to unlock Azaka Stormfang deep into the Tomb of Annihilation campaign and set up Azaka farming in order to really increase the amount of gold that you're getting exponentially. And then it just kind of, it goes up. You get a lot of gold and a lot of favor. But that's what resetting is, all part of that core loop. You're trying to get as far as you can and then reset, take what you've gathered, do it again, do other adventures, etc.
Exactly. Good fun. And Zoom Legend is asking if it's possible to obtain all champions for free. I saw a chat mostly answered this as well, but yes, it is.
Yeah. I'm not a good authority on how quick it is to get all of them for free, but we have quite a few players who have managed to do it. It's it's playing each event, unlocking the champions as they come out, while also grabbing them in every time gate, opening extra time gates when you can.
Oh, and Fred 85 has a crazy thunderstorm, and so just wanted to say a quick hi and thank you for the Evelyn epic. So. Thanks for joining us.
Fred 85T, I hope the weather clears up. I mean, I like thunderstorms sometimes, but not when I'm trying to do stuff related to the internet. But it's one of my favorite things to be on the coast and watch a thunderstorm and the waves crashing and the weather, and it's awesome.
Super awesome. And Leggy Clown is asking, are you guys Canadian? Yes, we are.
Yep.
Our accents giving us away.
Yeah. Although Canadian accents vary pretty wildly.
Yeah.
Although, I was going to say not as much as in the United States, but I mean, you hear somebody from Newfoundland and Labrador or Cape Breton Island speak, and you hear somebody from Vancouver speak. It's pretty different. Yeah.
So it's different. Murazor71 is asking, I still have characters freezing, then I use the familiars to activate the abilities.
Oh, no.
Is this normal or just me? That sounds like a bug.
That is a bug. Yeah.
Please open an in-game support ticket to CNE Sean, and we'll get you sorted out.
Yeah. He really likes it when you start any communication with him with ding dong and then whatever the problem is.
Absolutely. Ding dong. Hello, Sean. Problem.
Yeah. See somebody asking how often we hear or speak French. We're on the West Coast, so you don't hear a lot of French here or speak a lot of French here unless you're deliberately trying to, because there are French immersion schools and French communities. But if you go over to Quebec, you'll hear a lot of French. In the event that you get to travel again.
Oh, apparently, Crocus Maximus can tell that I'm Canadian right away, but not you, Dylan, unless you're trying.
I would blame my schooling on that. Taking like my radio classes and radio instructor.
Right.
They try to make you learn a very specific way of pronouncing things so that you're as easy to understand as possible, which, as it turns out, is a really helpful thing. But I find that, like, if we're going to talk about accents, like Vancouver, Victoria doesn't really sound different from Seattle.
No,
like barely different. And it's just kind of it's a regional thing, Pacific Northwest.
Yes. Alpha Oracle is asking if there's a different conversion rates after each event time gate. Sometimes they get to 100% favor for D20, others just 100%.
Yes, there is. Yeah, so it's a different ratio between regular events and time gates. Put simply, time gates do not increase anywhere your favor anywhere near as much as actual events do.
Yeah.
I don't have the math in front of me, but like E10 favor in an event is supposedly like a 100% increase plus to whatever campaign you're converting it to. But if it's a time gate, I think it's 25%. Either way, they're both exponential increases, so they're worth doing.
But they are different, if you're wondering why it's not the same.
Yeah, that is intended.
It's intended. Oh. Yeah. But yes, and to answer someone in chat, yes, we are in BC. We're in Victoria, so it's lovely here.
Yep. Yeah. The divine protectorate of Her Majesty Bonnie Henry, who has been,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Apparently, she's getting a little bit. People are fangirling her a little bit. Like, she went in to get pizza, and like they posted her picking up her pizza on their Instagram and everything.
That doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, when you think about it, everybody's isolated and a little bit more bored and a little bit more cabin feverish than they were before all this started. But the one thing that pretty much everybody has in common is they've all now heard of this one person. They all know who she is and what she does and why, and like you're constantly hearing her voice. And I'm not at all surprised. She, healthcare workers are becoming minor celebrities now. It's pretty wild.
Elfris is asking, have you ever considered creating a boss who would start attacking the backline of champions? Jarlaxle is able to do it, but it would be fair to have a boss who could do it too.
I think we have, haven't we? So there's a few that come to mind. A Serax Chain Lightning is totally random, the targets. We don't generally have them attacking the back because we have tanks in the front of the formation, and we encourage people to build around that.
Yeah.
And if the boss just hit from the back, it would wipe formations like right away. And so we kind of try not to do that too much. But yeah, Serac and as Ragnats is pointing out, Valindra, Shadowmantle, both will just AoE the party at random because they're evil liches, and that's what evil liches do. Son of a lich.
That's what they do. It's 1:30, so I promised our moderator Sasha that I would switch to the coloring sheets now, so we can.
Oh yes, show these off.
Schedule. So we have been having a sort of community coloring challenge for the past 5 or 6 weeks. give or take. And I've just taken 5 of some of my favorite ones done by awesome members of our community. And Sasha's going to start a...
Oh, man. That's so much better than that color.
Sasha's going to start a poll, and we can choose, and you can choose the one you like the most. And the artist will receive a year of a Champions of Renown pack, year 1 or 2, whatever their choice.
That's a nice Ishii.
Yeah, lovely Ishii.
I spent about an hour coloring an Ishii at PAX West last year.
It's really soothing.
Getting really into it, yeah.
It's like, especially at PAX when you've been sort of on go mode for so long. So.
Yeah, you sit down for a second, and you're like, I'm gonna get this. Yeah. I'm gonna get this red right. I'm gonna color right in between the lines. I'm gonna shade it.
Shade it.
Oh, I like that Zaspia.
This Zaspia is really cool. It's like kind of got some like rock and roll vibes with the blue and black hair.
Yeah. She looks like she's about to belt out like some epic metal ballad.
Yes. And then this is an Evelyn done in the style of Jaheira.
Oh, wow.
So
I like the background edition.
Yeah, the background
edition. It feels
edition.
like cheating, but it's awesome.
It's really, really cool. And it's like, I've seen some really cool things in both the digital and then physical coloring. So, yeah. These are just things. And I'm just confirming that the poll is up and ready, Sasha. Are we good to go?
Yeah, this is your time to chime in and choose which one you like the most.
Yes, this is your time to choose which one you like this. So Minsk and Boo, number 1. Lovely. Really, really classic.
Yeah.
Ishii, Snaggletooth. Great one as well.
Played by one of my favorite stream guests, Violet Miller.
She seems really cool.
She's a blast.
Yeah. And then there's this wicked...
the ensemble.
The ensemble?
Ensemble. It's funny, I keep thinking that the music I'm listening to is coming to the stream, but I know it's not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But like when you transition to the next picture, it was like dun 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 dun, like loudly. I'm like, huh, that's good timing.
Apparently, there might be a problem with the.
Oh no.
With the poll, so we're just trying to sort that out.
Best laid plans.
Best laid plans.
I swear we weren't trying to improvise this. We did try to coordinate this in advance. I don't think I can do a poll from my... I'll just let Sasha figure it out.
Yeah, it's apparently not letting start it. So
that's so weird.
Let's just switch back to here for now and see if we can get...
Yeah, we'll run through them again once the poll is actually running.
But, yeah. Thanks for... Anyways.
So yeah, lots of fun to color them in. More fun than I thought. Oh, like sun just went behind clouds, so it suddenly got dark in here. Hold on a second. There we go. But yeah, it's just I don't know, soothing even. Although I find every time I do it, I wish I need more colors. I need a slightly different shade of, whatever. Because you just kind of get into it. But
you
it's
really do it.
Soothing. Yeah.
So while we get that sorted out, gluten salad.
Oh no, I was going to ask you a question before we get to that. What made you pick Lathander's Light as the episode title name?
Because it is a temple of Lathander.
Okay.
And so is Morning Dawn Hall.
That makes sense. That makes practical sense. I read it, Lathander's Light, and it made me think of the In Brightest Day and Blackest Night thing from the Green Lantern. Because it fits in perfectly, but that's all good. I'm just a nerd.
we're all nerds here. But yeah, I was going through like I ended up somehow in one of those like wiki rabbit holes where you're like suddenly looking at all of the temples of Lathander and you're like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. And of course, Evelyn being one of our current event champions, like, yeah, this works. So yeah, Lathander's Light and Morning Dawn Hall are both temples of Lathander. Oh.
There we go. I posted it in chat.
Okay.
Anyways, cool. You were about to, I interrupted you. Sorry. You were about to ask something.
Yes. Glutensaft is asking, what adventurer's blessing should they focus on completing first? They have around E to the 12 on all of them at the moment.
I don't think which campaign you pick to go through first matters as much. You want to get the global blessings that matter, which is the right column in each one, as quickly as you can, because those are the ones that you use everywhere, including events. So I would focus on those. I would do Descent into Avernus last. As the top tier blessings, global blessings in that aren't as useful yet. But they will be. But
they will be. Okay. But yeah. And apparently Ragnats has found a hidden code.
Oh. Congrats.
Oh, praise Lathander. Yes, that's...
Praise Lathander.
That's from the 2020 hidden combinations list.
Is it?
Yes.
What?
No, they found it already.
Oh, okay.
I'm not spoiling it.
I'm like, what is this?
Not just saying it.
But while you were gone last week, we added a hidden code.
Yes, just one.
That is just a malicious one. Yeah, a hidden evil code. Because it's funny. And I don't think anybody's found it yet because I didn't see anything posted about it. So.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. I'm sure at some point somebody will find it. Hopefully before it expires.
Alkan is saying they have a bug where gain favor in a run carries over to the next run. Which gave them an instant 1.4 million increase in favor. So I was switching campaigns. Is this a known bug? Yes.
It is a known bug.
Yes.
Congratulations. You are the proud recipient of a great bug. The kind that you like. It's like a ladybug landing on you for a second and like looking really cute and then flying away. It's like that. Good bug. One that doesn't somehow cripple you. So, congrats.
And Melanie is asking, why do event favors have one base favor conversion bonus? I've been making an assumption it's because of the event being housed in one of the 4 base campaigns.
I'm not sure I understood the question.
I'm struggling a little
also,
bit too.
I'm going to turn down my music.
Melanie is asking, why does event favor have one base favor conversion bonus? I've been making an assumption that it is because of the event being housed in one of the 4 base campaigns.
That's a good. The why behind that would be a Justin question, because he sets all that stuff up. So I can't give you the reasoning for it. It's just, we want events to be worth playing.
Yes.
Because if the favor was really low, people would probably play it to get some chests and unlock the characters and then just leave it. Instead, we want it to be worth your time to push as far as you can in an event to make sure that you are able to, make a significant increase to the divine favor of one of your permanent campaigns. So why the numbers are what they are is a question for somebody who handles game balance like Justin. But we just want it to be worthwhile to play events.
That's exciting. I'm sorry, we're just trying to sort out if we can get our poll going.
I might be able to. Hold on.
Hold on. Okay.
Let me just.
Sorry about that.
Opening another tab. And then from here.
We do it live. Sometimes that goes well. Sometimes that doesn't. That's okay. So yeah. Have you run any of our encounters that are now in D&D Beyond?
Have I run any of those yet? No,
Yeah.
no. I worked with Scott Fitzgerald Gray to make them.
Yeah.
Which is to say that I gave him a bit of direction and he made them because he's been making them for a long time. But I haven't run any of them yet. No.
Yeah. Neither have I. I think it'd be really fun to run as a one-shot in the office when we can start doing that again. That'd be great. Or we could do it on D&D Beyond. And, like, I'll zoom in or something. But, yeah. But they are available, and we have new ones available now, so that's super exciting. I'll just toss them in. Chat.
Apologies for the typing. I'm trying to set this poll up again. American spelling. So what was it? It was Minsk and Boo.
Minsk and Boo.
And then?
Ishi.
And then?
High Rollers.
High Rollers.
And then it was Zaspia.
Zaspia. And Evelyn.
Evelyn. So we'll find out. Oh, there we go. Okay, I can go to the options now.
Yeah.
So
it should be there now.
Okay. This is Evelyn. Then we've got a Wicked Zaspia.
Oh, it's wild watching this live.
Yeah, that's fun. Really cool high rollers. One. Did you vote?
I did vote. Yeah. I voted for Minsk and Boo.
It's pretty great. Ishi.
There's the one right beside you, probably still on the table there, the Minsk and Boo in the thing.
That one's pretty great as well.
Well, it's always impressed me because the guy did it with a red, blue, and yellow crayon.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's like I start coloring and I'm like, oh, I need more colors, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Well, that guy, like, it was his favorite thing. Like, he came up to us at the descent, and I was there with Dr. Rudrum, and we're sitting there and we're playing the game in the area. Like, we're RPing as vendors working for Mahadi, and the guy like picks it up and he got like really excited. He disappeared for like half an hour and he came back with that. And he's like, I guess he's a professional colorist. Like, that's what he does. And so like oh my God, like doing this with the primary colors, like it just like lit something in his eyes and he just like wanted to do it. And so he came back the next day and he did more of them and he kept them. But it's just way more brilliant in the with three colors than I was kind of like, I wonder what it would look like if he actually had the full kit. Like, it probably just, I mean, that's what he does.
Yeah, it would be outstanding, but while being at PAX, it's amazed me what people can do with like 3 to 5 crayons.
Yeah. It's easy for us to figure out that we're not as good at this. So I did this thing where if you have bits, you can throw in extra votes.
Oh, that's a statement.
Now, not a lot of players have bits, and I think I made the cost too high because I meant to do 10 and I typed 100. 100 bits is a lot of bits to use for it. But we're thinking of changing our bits into something else because we can customize it for the channel. So
something sceney.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
we would want something that's codenamey, not something that's necessarily Idle Championsy. Even though most of our shows are Idle Championsy, just because to make it more like us.
More like us.
Oh, is the channel points not bits? Well, either way, changing them.
We'll change them.
Yeah. Well, Minsk made a valiant comeback, but so far it's looking like it's all the Evelyn show.
It is the Evelyn show.
Yeah. Can you change votes? Oh, you can.
You can.
Interesting. Codename coins. Yeah.
Codename coins. Oof. Is that how we get paid?
I hope not. Oh man.
It becomes, like one of those company towns where it's all just credit to and from the company.
Oh God, yeah. That reminds me of the Outer Worlds, that game that came out last year, the RPG that was from the people who made the first 2 Fallout games, and like it was just such a brilliant corporate satire, but it was also depressing because like they're like also showing like people living in poverty, working for companies, trying to pay off their debt and like get some semblance of freedom. Oh, that got dark. Anyways, yeah. We'll leave. I guess I'll leave the poll up for the duration of the full 10 minutes, and
I'll run through them again in a bit, but feels weird. Yeah. Ooh. Cree 3737 is asking, what is the best way to thank someone for fixing a ticket if the ticket is closed once it's fixed? Sean can weigh in on this.
Yeah, if Sean is in chat, you can thank Sean at CNE_Sean.
And he always passes
that's
on
odd.
Good vibes.
Yeah. I'm going to need you to come in on Saturday and complete your TPS report. Oh, man. Who knew that movie would be timeless? Although Idiocracy ended up being a little bit prescient as well, so I guess there's that. Yikes.
It's a thing. But yeah. Let's go through the coloring sheets one more time. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It seems sensible.
Just in case anybody is joining in, we are voting on which of the 5 coloring sheets that have been completed here, chosen by Margaret, is our favorite, the winner of which we will be contacting and sending them either a Champions of Renown Year 1 pack or a Champions of Renown Year 2 pack, their choice.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Like our office space described as timeless. Idiocracy is currently relevant. Well, I mean, nobody's sitting on their toilet thrones watching people fart on TV right now, as far as I know. So that and the mountains of garbage and like the great garbage collapses and stuff aren't happening. Yeah. Also, actually, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to take this in a political or realistic direction. That's
too dark for right now.
Recipe for bad. Yeah.
It's too dark for right now.
But Idiocracy was supposed to be a joke. I guess that's where I'll leave it. It was supposed to be a joke.
Will you have a corrupt company taking things over in your Waterdeep game, or?
Oh, so in the Dragon Heist game that I'm DMing, the players have managed to make a lot of enemies because they keep promising people things and not delivering them. So they've managed to antagonize 3 of the 4 antagonistic factions in the book.
Oh my!
Yeah. The 4th one being one that they almost ran into and just didn't, because coincidentally, because they have the attention span of cats. But they're not on a track. Like, I'm not railroading them towards an end, but there is an obvious end point where everything's kind of coming towards, slowly but surely, and they have every opportunity to complete the adventure in different ways. But they're kind of all heading to this one point. also, I don't think any of them are on stream, so they don't know it. But their party has been infiltrated by one of the factions too.
Oh yes, you were mentioning this. This is your mother-in-law.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
She was excited. There's the bonus that she gets for playing a character who died, who doesn't get resurrected, and then is now playing a character that is not on their side. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. I mean, she can always change her mind. I mean, it's up to her, but she works for a certain not good aligned mage who is in the book.
Yeah. Just that. Giant Dwarf is saying that they're slightly sad that there aren't any crayon sheets or more basic MS Paint sheets in the pool. I just want to give a shout out to you for how many awesome sheets that you've contributed each week. You've contributed a lot, and I see them, and they look fantastic. So I'm sorry I didn't select them. I had to choose 5, not more. But
yeah, we were it was mostly being worried about how many we could put into the poll.
Yes. And I also want to give a shout out to Jaheira. One, the sheets you've done are fantastic, but also the ones that you've created yourself, like the Healer of Toril one, for instance, where you're like, you don't have a Healer of Toril Celeste sheet, so I'm going to make one, and it looks like surprisingly like we did it. That's awesome, and major props for that. I think I showed it to Adam, our art director, and he's like, well, just have that person do all of our sheets. So,
yeah, take this off our plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of champions now. And we've been getting requests for some of our monsters to be turned into sheets. Yes. Which opens up a lot. There's a lot of them. Yes. And maybe even some of our familiars. Which at first I was kind of like worried about. Looks like Evelyn Marthane is the clear winner, by the way.
Evelyn Marthane is the winner, so I will be.
Yeah. With 44% of the vote.
44% of the vote. I'll be contacting the artist to get them.
Is that at Lithium? Is that what that says? I can't quite read it.
Lithium.
Cool. Yeah, I have that in a tiny part of my screen over in the corner. So that's cool.
You heard it first.
Congratulations.
And I think the art team is done with my latest request, or almost done with my latest request. So I'll just have to get those onto the website soon for more sheets.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. And that should be closed now. I think I fixed it.
Yeah. I think we're good.
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right.
Anywho.
Are you gonna run away? Because I'm gonna bring in.
Yeah, you're bringing in David today.
Yes.
I think we're getting a dev on stream.
We're getting a dev on stream. The first time since the spring extravaganza.
Yeah. So since March 25th. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. April, May. What's the date today?
It is May 21st.
21st. Wow. Yeah. 2 months.
Yeah.
Anyways.
When did that happen?
Yeah. Wait, there are devs.
Yes.
We have devs. They're busy deving. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, they've been busy the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's been a time.
Yeah,
been a time.
It happens. Actually, before I go, so on that note, I think it's not a secret that like one of the other games that I like to play is a game called Destiny that Bungie puts out, and they have had a horrific couple of months since COVID. Not because of anything other than just they had seasonal content all set up to roll out. They were extremely and impressively proactive about setting up remote work and working from home and being safe during COVID and all this stuff. And their season has just been so staggeringly filled with bugs that it's just as somebody who does community management and works at a game company, it just it hurts to watch because their players are so mad. But this is making video games is hard. And, nobody intends to ship out content that's buggy. Developer testing and how things are made is distinctly different from the live game client and environment. They're actually two different things. And so we don't ship stuff without being confident that we've fixed everything, analyzed it, looked at it in all the ways, and then we are joyously able to discover new things once things go live. And a few more sets of eyes, but to the tune of thousands more sets, gets to look at something. So, bear with it.
Bear with us, and thank you for your patience with us, because we've
it's tough, but we're on it. We're working on the bugs. Yeah.
All right.
Anyways,
thank you for joining me, Dylan.
Oh, no worries. I'll catch up with you later.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Thanks. I guess I will leave.
I will end you.
You'll end me. Oh dear.
And with that fun note, Dylan is still alive, I promise. I will call in Dave. Because I am like to act like sort of, I really feel like I'm a telemarketer, or we're doing a telephone drive instead. It's like, our operators are waiting for your call. But he should be here shortly. That's very exciting. Yes, Dylan is still alive. Promise. Oh. Idle Champions Telethon, that can happen when we have some of our major events, like the Spring Extravaganza. And now I'm just bringing in David, and it's working. It's working.
All right. Do I have audio?
Working. You have audio.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. The only thing I need to change is your name, because you are not
I need
Dylan.
to turn off the stream, because that would be a really good idea. There we go.
Fantastic. I just need to change your name. Change your name.
Well, that is an infinitely better start than we had last time.
Yes, that is wonderful. Except for that is still not your name. I need to change it there. There we go. You don't have a Twitter handle that you share.
I will just do not use Twitter.
Right, you're a
stay
glorious
away from Twitter.
co-founder title. There we go. Your Twitter handle is now co-founder, because that makes sense. Welcome.
Awesome. All right.
Right. Okay. But now we know. Welcome. We've had some growing pains in Idle Champions the past couple weeks or so. So
that is a very political way to put it. Yes, it's
optimistic.
Yeah, there's definitely been a fair number of issues, especially for the players who are on Steam. And so I think we definitely owe a thank you to the players on Steam for their patience over the last 2 weeks, as we have been tracking down and correcting, at this point, dozens and dozens of minor issues, and then, of course, some fairly game-breaking major issues that occurred one after another. So this has all come together a little bit slower than we would have liked to get these fixed. And so, a part of that, of course, is because we're all working remote. And,
yes.
Don't take this as an excuse, but simply just an explanation for why we've been having a bit of a slower time right now fixing the issues that we've run into. And so for the Steam players, I'll just say right now that we did provide some supply chests and some buffs last week, or maybe it was a little longer than that. And we are intending to have more of that coming once we've got this sort of sorted completely. And we feel like we're getting to that point. So very soon, we'll have some more stuff for you for that, just as a thank you for your patience and an apology for the inconveniences that obviously we've caused over the last 2 weeks.
No, there's been some speculation about what perhaps is coming. Or do you want to comment on that? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. So I imagine the speculation is around the multi-party system and the Modron automation. Is that what I'm to what have you got for speculation?
There is some speculation that this is perhaps laying the groundwork for Modron automation and or multi-adventure mode.
Good. Okay, that's yes. So that is definitely what this is connected to. So we've actually been reworking a big portion of the system to allow you to have 2 games effectively running at once. And of course, this is a pretty significant change to the way the system worked before. And it means that there are a lot of assumptions across the system that end up having to be thrown out. Because, I mean, when you have, your in-game areas, your UI, all of the actual data, the way we're storing it, it's like, oh, you're on one adventure, you have one instance, you've got one formation, and now, of course, everything is, you have N formations, you have an N adventures. And actually the biggest one is really the, aside from sort of all those little bits, is the effect system. Like, obviously, all the way the characters interact with each other is super complex. It's always like, if there's a bug, it's almost always that's where it's stemming from, is sort of like, this ability effect isn't working with this ability effect when you combine them with this ability effect.
Yes.
And so taking all of that and bundling it into a system that then can run multiple at the same time, so that we could have the multi-parties happening at the same time. So it's a really big change, and we've been working on it for months at this point. I think we started early January, and so it's been an ongoing process. And 2 weeks ago, I guess it would have been May 4th, is when we rolled that out.
An auspicious day. The Force was not with us.
Yeah, no. And we rolled that out only to Steam. So right now, everyone else, if you're on Steam, you've been suffering through this, and if you're on the other platforms, I know a lot of our Twitch viewers are probably coming in from the Steam one, but if you're on the other platforms, you've actually been spared this particular set of growing pains, because Steam is actually a platform that we can roll out very quickly and patch to just as quickly as we can make the patch, we can get it to the Steam players, which is just not true of the other platforms, unfortunately.
And it's a bit of a mixed blessing.
Yes. It definitely means that if there's a bug and it's out on the other platforms, we can fix that for the Steam players immediately, and the other players, unfortunately, end up having to wait for some small period or for some longer period if it needs to go through approvals or some form of review before it gets pushed out. So yeah, definitely a mixed blessing in that sense. But unfortunately for us, when we pushed that out, we actually ended up having just this perfect storm of additional issues that occurred. So we pushed that out on the 4th, and we had some issue. We got some reports in on the Discord, and some of the developers are watching that and thinking, okay, well, we can fix these issues as they come in. We didn't think there was going to be too many. So in our usual sense, we basically say, okay, how quickly can we get a patch out to the players so that it affects people for the smallest amount of time possible? And so we started tackling on that, and that ended up going late. And I know as we were in our rush to get that fixed, some bug tracking, some code that was actually intended to tell us what was going wrong, was pushed out very late, like 11:30 at night, which is really not ideal. And everything seemed to be working, and we came back in the morning and found out that all of the upgrade effects were broken. And it was because we were trying to record some of this extra debug data to figure out what's going on. So in an effort to help fix the problem, we made the problem worse, which is not what you want to do.
No, I'm helping.
Corrected almost immediately once we saw it in the morning. I know Mark pushed a fix for that right in the middle of the morning meeting. It certainly doesn't help with confidence that we're going to get these things fixed. And then to compound that even worse, we had actually been looking at another issue that had a fix in that build. It was that when you're running with speed potions, you're going through areas like every actually it's like 5 or 6 seconds, you go to the next area. And the way the game currently works is when you changed areas, it would save.
Yes.
And so we were having this enormous bombardment of save calls coming in, because the save calls go to the server, from players who had various either champions that were giving speed boosts, or they were running 3 speed pots up, or and so it was save, wait, save, wait, which is highly unnecessary, and certainly a performance limitation when we're getting to the end of events and things start to slow down, and players definitely don't like that. So we thought, what can we do? We can put some kind of a limit in there that says, if you've saved in the last minute, it's okay, just hold. You can wait a minute. And unfortunately, that sort of brought to light that when you close the game, sometimes that save doesn't work, or it didn't work. Now, I put some fixes in that I'm really, really hoping we're going to actually fix that. So if anyone's having an issue where their game is delaying before closing, that's potentially because of that. And we're looking at that carefully to see if we can make sure that when you close, it absolutely does save. But of course, that comes back with issues now of, oh, look, I put out my formation and I put out my familiars and I hit go on the auto progress, and then I closed the game. And when I came back, there was all my everything was empty. Half my champions were gone, and I hadn't made any progress. And that is just absolutely awful. But to make matters worse than that, there was another issue related to the offline progress, and that is that part of the new system, the Modron automation system, it has an ability to do multiple resets. Right. So one of the things that the Modron automation system is going to let you do is it's going to let you set up a Modron that will say, I wish to reset when I reach area 35 or something like that. And then it'll reset and we just set up your formation, then you can go again to the next 35. And this is sort of as an option to do like sort of automated, gem farming and favor farming, that sort of thing. And so as it turned, so we looked at that and we were thinking of a scenario where what happens if you do this and you come back in 3 days?
Yes.
And you're like, oh, okay, well, I've been offline for, 3 days worth of time. And so how many times would that actually process? Maybe, if you were able to do it in an hour, we're looking at like 72 hours worth of progress, which means you could do it 72 times, which means that it would come back and it would have to process through. It would hit the reset point, and then it would do all the reset logic and save your data and then go in and reset and do this 72 times, which seemed particularly inefficient and or impractical. And additionally, that could take a really long time if you'd been away for too long. And so we had this clever plan where it would actually do the calculation for the gold and your favor, and then just do it again in the client without actually doing a save, which would then calculate them all and do this giant buildup of the saves and then do it all in one go. Now, the system for that also, which was on the back end, got activated with this rollout. And unfortunately, that system had a bug in it that clobbered your last action time, which is what we use to determine if you should get offline progress. And so for some players, because of that, they were just not getting offline progress, period. Also really awful. And so there were two issues, both causing the same symptoms, but totally different issues. And they happened basically at the same time. So that then, to make matters even worse, as everyone is now aware, we are now out on the Nintendo Switch, which is awesome.
Awesome, yes.
The Nintendo Switch has a fairly long turnaround time in terms of when we submit to Nintendo, and Nintendo reviews what we've submitted to them, and when they then approve that for release as an update onto the platform. And so what this means is, in order for us to be able to be on Switch, we have to have at least the tech quite a bit ahead of where it needs to be launched, like several months ahead of where it needs to be actually live on the Switch. And so what this has led to is that there was actually quite a few variant tech, there was quite a few champion tech that actually had, while being tested internally, hadn't been put out into the wild. And so the little issues with the players would report to us had not been ever looked at, because this had all been sort of stacked up, and that had also all been in that branch that ended up getting pushed forward. So we had, I don't know how many issues that is, I don't know, counting them down the list, but all of those came together in this just massive storm last 2 weeks that have made a real mess of things. And we've been working a lot of extra hours to try and get this all fixed. So hopefully at this point we've got a lot of that covered. And to make matters just even worse, and that is that almost all of the team, basically all the team, is working remote, which just makes this a little more complicated.
Yes.
So that is what happened. I'm definitely, this is not an excuse. This is just an explanation for it. We're going to post a dev blog soon, giving some more of those details. And then, of course, more in-game items for your patience and for, just putting up with our crap.
Yes. Thank you for your patience with us. It's been a time. Thank you for taking the time to join on stream and talk to us. But yeah, I've seen you guys working at really interesting hours, and it's been like,
Yeah, definitely get most messages in the chat, the company chat, like, and this is pushed. It's like, I'm turning in. It's 11:30. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm here now to answer questions.
Yes.
Hopefully, I don't have anything that's too difficult.
You mentioned some assumptions for Riv stacks, and Deatho1 was wondering what those assumptions are.
I did what now? Sorry,
Yes.
Say again.
You mentioned assumptions for the Briv stacks.
I don't believe I did. That's not something I would have an answer for.
No. I think it was a bug in them.
Yeah, I know there's there's some of these details that I just won't have, and that's
Okay.
I think it's a misunderstanding. If it sounded like I said that, I did not. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. Glacier is asking if it's if multi-venture mode is N or is it 2?
So we plan to have N.
Yes.
And we don't know exactly what that what the highest value of that's going to be. Right now, we are thinking that we will be doing it based on the number of champions that you have available. So
Interesting.
as you get more champions, because the purpose here is that you're going to need to be able to have a full formation to do adventures in each instance, and you'll be pretty hamstrung, especially on certain variants, if you don't have a champion in every slot. So now, subject to this being not the final numbers exactly, because we obviously there's a little bit of time now before we get this out. We may look it over and say, hey, this is not exactly what we're going for. But we're thinking, once you've got at least 2 champions in every slot, will be the absolute bare minimum before this sort of system opens up.
Right.
And then as you get another layer of champions, then you get another instance, and then another layer and another instance. But again, that's subject to balance and further thought on that. But that's what we're leaning on right now, or leaning toward, leaning on it.
Awesome. That sounds really fun. So, and yeah, that makes sense. So that you don't try to run like 5 adventures with 20 champions.
Yeah, you'd be pretty hamstrung in that case.
That'd be pretty rough.
Yeah.
And Do Not Mind Me is asking how much has this interrupted our plans for things?
Plans for things specifically?
Yes.
Is that a
how much did this past 2 weeks sort of change our timeline?
I mean, ambitiously, it hasn't. I think that's part of the reason that we ended up putting this out when we did, is because we knew we had to get any sort of issues with it sorted out at basically now, so that we could be ready to have it all put, especially on platforms like Switch, as mentioned, that we have a couple of months of a delay potentially there, and this is one of those systems where it may end up also being delayed on Switch just because of that period of because they have to actually approve everything, and they have a pretty long runway on that for them. But I wouldn't say that it's actually delayed our plans for a lot of the launches in Champions. It's certainly taken time away from other things.
Yes, or it's maybe taken some time away from perhaps some quality of life things we were tweaking.
For sure. It's been the priority for the last 2 weeks, is getting all that sorted. So everything else has been become secondary.
Nightmare 937 is asking if they will see the bugs when console gets the patch.
No. And that's kind of the sort of the silver lining to this, is that the console, actually every platform right now other than Steam, has been on the previous release, or the branch previous to the point where we rolled these changes out. And so all of these fixes will be in the releases that go out for every platform.
Well,
Steam
that's fantastic.
Got it first.
Yeah. And Baby Illy G 2000 is asking, what info do you need to fix and find an issue? They find it, they say being dyslexic, it's sometimes very difficult to write out and describe what the issue is, and that they don't make tickets because they're struggling to describe the issue in writing. So if you have a Cole's notes of what you need.
Yeah, I mean, for trying to reproduce an issue, sort of the steps required, if you can reproduce an issue, like if it's happening repeatedly on it, you take an action and then this thing happens, then just having, a step-by-step, I do this, this happens, is ideal. If it's one of those things, and often it is a case where it's like, well, this thing is seemingly randomly, then describing as best you can, and obviously in this particular case this is difficult, what you're seeing. Additionally, I mean, if you can provide a screenshot, and I know that the ticket system doesn't take screenshots, and that's something that is on the list that we should be putting in there, but various platforms provide ways for you to share images, and lots of people use, like, I can say the name of it, it's like Gyzo, GYZAO. You have to look for like the screen capture stuff, but there's a lot of tools that let you just drag a region on your screen and then it uploads it and you can paste a link. Those are really useful for that. So if you take a screenshot, and worst comes to worst, take a screenshot and email it to idlechampions@codenameentertainment.com, and so I opened a ticket and here's a screenshot. And so at least a picture does tell, I don't know if it's 1,000 words, but it's a lot of words. And so if you have difficulty articulating it, then a picture is great too. One of the things that we actually recently changed in our ticket system is we take a snapshot of your account when you open a ticket, sort of what your formation is, what area, basically it's a copy of your current instance. And then we can actually load that up in our environment now, and that makes debugging these a lot easier when it's something that just is happening randomly and you can't quite put your finger on it. Because if we can open it up and then watch it happen, then that helps a lot. So that is something that more recently is helping with us tracking down that type of issue.
That's fair. Oh, and Static24, I think this is more a question for me, is asking, how do we find the hidden codes? For this week, I'll just say that there are 2 hidden codes. They're both 16 characters. One is for Evelyn and one is for Quillic. The Evelyn one follows the same pattern as the episode title and other code. So we'll see if that's enough information for them. Alpha Curl has a question about Modron automation and multi-adventure mode. They're assuming that each champion will be locked to each Modron slot, but will the familiars also be locked?
So as far as which champions you're using in which adventure, we didn't want to make it so that you ended up like locking a champion to an adventure. So if you changed your mind and you wanted to pull Bruno across and use him in another adventure, we've actually you will be able to do that, but you'll lose the levels for them. Is what we've got it balanced for right now. So you can pull them across, and any levels you had on the adventure they were on would then be discarded, and then you bring them in at level 1 on your current adventure. And then, generally speaking, depending on where you're at, you probably have enough gold to pull them quite a bit up to, like, pretty close to where you would be fairly quickly. So you're not locked. And if you change your mind on a champion, or if you're in a variant that's switching up what you're allowed to use, and all of a sudden you need someone that you've got somewhere else, you can certainly shift that up. That wouldn't really make for a good play experience if you found yourself stuck because of that. And then familiars will be the same way. If you use a familiar on, if you're using a familiar on one adventure and you wish to move it onto the other adventure, you'll be able to do so, but it will pull it off the other adventure.
It will pull it off the other adventure. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. And Sean has a message for you.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What did I say, Sean?
It's
The Tim Hortons gift guy's watching?
yeah,
Is that what he
yeah,
said?
yeah.
If he wants to say anything about the coffee and donut. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Ha. Um,
Well, you
sure. I mean, I guess what did Sean say was that someone had reached out and had a hell of a time attempting to buy coffee and donuts for all of the support that we've been providing, which is greatly appreciated. I don't imagine. I think Sean is sort of head on that, so I imagine we haven't seen anything of that yet. But that's really awesome, and we appreciate it a lot.
Yes, thank you, 727, for your generosity.
And it sounds like it was a royal pain to
Yeah.
actually manage to find someone that could get us through for Tim Hortons. So, yeah, persevere, I guess.
Sure, Canadianness. And Dylan has a question for you as well, in very Dylan fashion.
Not our Dylan.
Oh yeah,
Uh-oh.
yes. Would you rather vote for Jack Johnson or John Jackson? And are you against those evil things that everybody hates?
Well, I'm against their 3-cent titanium tax because I think it goes too far. But
Too far.
I mean, Dylan probably thinks it doesn't go too far enough.
no.
So I mean,
There you go. Crazy Captain Matt is asking again about multi-adventure. If you remove a champ from one adventure to use another adventure, and then try to bring them back to the first adventure, will their specialization choices be locked to what they were before?
right now we're gonna have to actually test how this feels, and this is something that our on Discord beta group will probably be hearing from us soon, so that they can try it out. Is that they'll start again at level 1. So like if you transferring them back and forth, the travel is going to cause them to revert to not being leveled. So
Not being leveled. Okay.
yeah,
Cool. That makes sense.
yeah, 'cause you can't have them
Yeah.
in one level. Like it'd be a bit of an odd thing to be tracking sort of where they were, and then they transfer over, and then maybe bring them somewhere else, and then you bring them back, and yeah, we opted just flatten it down. You can start again from 1, which shouldn't be a big deal, but we'll play it and see how it feels. Test it out.
It's sort of, I could see that sort of changing the market for potions of specialization.
Oh, yeah. I suppose if you transfer them out and then back, actually, there's something that certainly hadn't crossed my mind. Well, yeah, that'll be something we'll have to discuss. But I mean, I guess on the other side, you do have to pay for all the level ups again. But that might not. That might be pretty trivial. No. All right. Well, we'll think about that one.
Still very much something that we're thinking. and now I'm getting in trouble for mentioning that.
Well, we would have come across it in the beta testing for sure.
Yes, definitely. Pump Action 45 is saying they came to a point where they couldn't level the champions anymore. There were still a few levels needed to get the second feat slot. What do I have to do to get them? It will be a matter of increasing your favor and your gold to be able to level them further until you hit the soft cap. I haven't hit soft cap myself, so I feel your pain there. But yeah. What are you most excited about for multi-adventure mode?
Oh, myself?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited to see that it actually works. That's
Step 1. It works.
This is this has been a significant work or significant work time in the. What am I trying to say? There's been a significant amount of time going into the development of this, and so I will be very pleased when I see it all working. And the lion's share of this has come down on Mark. So once that gets working, there'll be a big shout out to Mark for getting that all reorganized. But yeah, certainly there's that. And then, I mean, there's no reveal on it, and I'm not going to be the guy who reveals it today, on how the Modron animation stuff is actually going to work. And that stuff is actually pretty cool looking. So stand by for that. I'm not sure exactly when the announcement will be on that one. But the way the system actually comes together is actually pretty cool. I think people are going to enjoy it. So that I'm looking forward to for sure. But again, I can't tell you what it is. So
I have some questions about it. Are there any restrictions in the terms of like where you can run another instance? Like, will it be like one per campaign or one per event, or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think if there are restrictions, it's going to be if like really if something just really doesn't make sense. But I off the top of my head, nothing is coming to mind.
Arvin Paradox is asking, could you run the same free play variant with 2 different teams at the same time?
That is probably the one thing that you won't be able to do, is the same
Okay.
adventure multiple times. But that one might end up coming under discussion, because I don't know that it would hurt to do the same one, but there may be other issues along with that. So
I can imagine it making your head hurt. Well, my head hurt.
it wouldn't make a lot of sense. But I think from a technical standpoint, it probably wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. Or maybe the variants where it's like restrictions based on strength. So it's like, okay, all the team that meets this requirement and all the team that has under the requirement.
Yeah.
But
These ones, there's going to be caveats for sure, and we're going to come across them as we actually sort of get that into the wild. But.
And Owen is asking, is there a way to sign up to become a beta tester? Or
so we do have a group on the Discord that have been, they're largely were selected from people who had been long-term community members who've been positive contributors. I'm not 100% sure at this point if we're accepting any new beta testers. I think generally we like to do it with people that we've seen active in the community and that we trust. So if you wish to, at the point at which if we do reach out to more people, if you're in the Discord community and you're active and you're being helpful players and we've been there for a long time, that's sort of how, that's sort of the categorization, like those are the criteria that we're looking for, but we're not currently sort of taking submissions.
Kuvuplan is asking, how much more CPU and memory usage does multi-adventure mode add?
Well, that is a good question. It's certainly something that we wanted to be able to do across all of the platforms, including some of the ones that you'd think would have more difficulty with that sort of thing, like, for example, a tablet or a cell phone. And from our testing, because it was something we were concerned about, it actually doesn't end up using a lot more CPU. It does, on the other hand, use a chunk of extra memory. And so we're working on making it so that you actually, so that doesn't become a problem. But it does mean that there's going to be a little bit of, at the moment, the way it's set up, and maybe we can solve for this, but at the moment there's a little bit of catch-up time that can occur when you switch between them, because it's processing sort of what happened, rather than having them like literally running at exactly the same time. Because when we had a bunch of them literally running at exactly the same time, this did add significant extra memory pressure, which on devices like iPads was bad news.
And so also, partly on this, so if we're running multiple instances, will this affect the event token drop? So right now we have one instance, N is one for event token drop.
Yeah, I mean, that's a question that I don't think we've actually talked about yet. My initial response would be probably not. That would actually just be, there's sort of a set rate for that, because the event tokens are designed to provide you over the course of the event with what you need to be able to unlock and play a certain number of adventures. And so if we bumped that token rate up, that would actually significantly change the balance of the events. So certainly that would be something that that would be more on Justin's purview, but from my perspective, it seems like that would cause a balance problem for the events as is. So some rebalance in the events would have to occur if we were giving more tokens for that. And one thing that we do need to keep in mind here is that sort of the Modron automation and the multi-instance stuff is more of a late game kind of feature. It's a feature that is intended for players who have a significant number of champions, and the events are balanced around having play that works for any level that you come in at. So it would make a fairly big swing in the balance for players who had a whole bunch of multi-instances open. If they were getting 3 times, 4 times the tokens. So yeah, I'm fairly confident that it's not going to affect that. That you'd see them simply only getting them in the instance that you were actively playing in would probably be what would happen. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Flower Sifter's asking, will the multiple instances through this run at offline progress speed then? Like that's...
Yeah, offline progress was a big part of this. This is why we needed to get the offline progress stuff done. I don't know if anyone remembers the dev blog that Justin put out the end of the year, or maybe it was late December, talking about some of these new features that were coming, which included, of course, the Modron automations and what we're doing with the coming events. But part of that talked about offline progress and the revamp we'd done on that. And because that revamp actually was key to being able to do the multi-instance stuff, because it meant that whole system, which actually, prior to the offline progress, we did this approximation of how much how much gold you would have made offline. Once we had the offline progress in, what it actually does is sort of it simulates the actual play to have a much more accurate model of what happened. And so that offline progress simulation is going to be part of the backbone of being able to have multiple instances running at a time. Because we will be simulating offline progress in the other instances.
In the other instances.
In the ones that you're not actively in. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm glad this is your headache, not mine. Well, it'll become my headache soon.
It's Mark's headache. I mean.
That's fair. MagePie is asking, how will multi-adventure mode handle picking specializations? Will that be the same way where you need to go in and actively play to pick all of your specializations, or?
So that's where the Modrons were going to come in as well.
Okay.
So the Modron automation is going to provide for ways to handle this stuff that you otherwise would have had to manually do. So if you have the proper Modron unlocked to be able to do that, which you'll have to earn through gameplay or some other methods.
Okay.
It's closed. You will be able to have that set up and running such that you don't have to do the selection yourself. But until you have that Modron unlock and going, then you will have to switch in and set those. Yeah.
Okay. And so you mentioned this Modron unlock. I'm assuming that we haven't decided what it is yet, but
we have.
We have.
It's not on the. It's not on the list of things that we've publicly announced. And
okay.
So I'm just going to put a pin in that one. So.
Okay. I'll let the speculation continue.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's joking that they just send donuts to the office. They send enough donuts, we'll unlock it for them.
Oh. Not if we pass out in a donut coma.
Nightmare 937 is asking, can Modron be used on your active run? Well,
yeah, that's a good question. I believe yes.
okay.
Just trying to think how that actually ended up it's going to end up working. But yeah, it will be. Yeah, sorry. Yes, of course it will.
Okay. It's like, something about being on stream is like this question. I'm not sure. I should know the answer to this, but
everyone's waiting for an answer.
Go. Green Paradox is asking, if you're running 2 different free plays during the same event and you finish one, would the other free play variant add in the favorite gain, or would it be fixed? Okay.
No, it would not.
Okay.
Yeah, that would. It would be based on what you started with. Yeah. The mid run favor change. not going to be a thing.
Not going to be a thing.
I don't believe. I mean, maybe we'll get into testing and be like, hey, this is actually something everyone's asking and wants. And for all I know, Justin's screaming at the camera right now. Of course, Dave, we're going to do this. But no, I don't believe that's the plan.
Okay. And there's now some speculation about what the players should be hoarding in anticipation of this. So
I can't answer that.
Can't answer? Okay. Magetry has another question about offline progress counting for patron challenges. Is that more of a Justin question, or?
It depends on what the question is.
Okay.
We can try it. If it
We can
doesn't
try.
work, well, we'll just, mark it off. You can drag Justin on here at some point.
Soon, please, maybe. The patron challenges that count the number of levels done have only counted at half progress when someone goes offline. Is that intentional?
Half progress. So my understanding, and I don't have an exact insight into this, is that we have to add very specific counts in for things that are done offline in the challenges. So, and then I know there are cases where if you get to a certain level and then it figures out that that's your max, then it bumps you back. It doesn't count the one that you were at. It was testing at before it bumped you back, or. Yeah, I don't have the details. I believe the intention is that you would get a level correctly for every level that you did do while you were offline for the patron challenge. So I know there are some caveats in there that may not work exactly. So, I mean, that's something that if there's a specific case that's occurring, certainly let us know. Unless someone's rushing in to correct me on that one, I'm fairly confident that that's supposed to work that way. It's supposed to give you the full credit.
All right. So if that's not appearing as it should, please write a ticket to CNA Sean. And then we need the internal reaction of me saying, please write a ticket to Sean, with Sean chasing me with a pitchfork.
Well, Sean is sharing an image here with me. What did you just say? So I don't know,
Okay.
Oh no, he's Justin watching. Never mind. Frog.
There's questions about removing certain patron challenges, like no supports, because people.
Yeah, patron challenges are not going to be something I can answer a lot of questions about. The challenges and what they are, how difficult they are, those are on Justin. So if you have questions or you just wish to ruminate on the difficulty, you can talk to him.
We're never going to be able to get Justin on stream again. How?
Oh, I'm sure. You twist his arm.
Yeah. We'll see. It says as one of the boss people.
I mean,
he says no. I say okay.
He's probably not watching, so he doesn't know what he's in for. So you just make a list.
Yeah. I just assume that you're all omnipresent. Which,
tell him he's here to announce some fancy new feature and then hit him with a list of really hard questions.
That sounds like a great thing for my performance review.
You got other people on your side. You're good. No hard feelings. He won't.
Yeah. Have you managed to start playing D&D again?
No, we haven't.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I think Adam wanted to carry on the game that we were playing if the tests of playing other games online went well, but I haven't heard from him. I think there's a lot of overhead involved in that, and so it certainly made it a lot more difficult. I'd certainly love to continue our game, but certainly there's just been a lot of overhead in this sort of thing. It's a lot of effort to get it all set up, but someone puts in the energy. I'll be there to play.
You'll be there to play so long as someone else is DMing.
I'll turn on the camera and the microphone, and away we go. 16 lights, apparently.
Yeah. Your streaming setup looks very impressive, do I have to say.
Oh. Thanks. I think it's worked. Coming from if you see it from the other side, I started collecting equipment because apparently, when I'm stuck here in the office with no one else to talk to, I just started ordering stuff on Amazon.
How is that different than normal times?
Oh, just the volume.
Yeah, just the volume?
The volume
Okay.
of it, yeah.
Okay.
And no one's here to judge when random packages show up just like every day. I guess Eric has been giving me the eye for that one, especially because the door that the packages come in is on his side of the office. So
Yes, you and Eric have been holding down the fort, which is noble of you.
in a very, very quiet office.
Yes.
But, yeah, one door that's labeled as this is the Canada Post delivery door, and so everything. I think for a while there, I was getting a package or two every day. It's stopped now. It really has.
It stopped? Okay.
But yeah, I was
Yeah.
getting that evil eye. You're interrupting my conference
no.
call. Why? Because you got, you ordered what? Another light, a camera, a microphone?
It's all for this streaming setup.
I need it to talk to people.
People.
There's no people here to talk to.
I'm looking forward to being able to come back into the office. I think most of us are. So.
Yeah, and certainly the social interaction is absent largely, and that's certainly very slowly grating on you, so making you go crazy. I'm sure lots of other people feel the same way.
I think we're all there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Switch. We launched on Switch. That was super exciting.
Yeah, we finally have a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
So the 5-year-old in me from 1993, when we got that first Nintendo, can now be just sit. It's done. Got a
It's
Nintendo
done.
game. I can retire.
Yeah,
It's
we
like,
can stop
we're
now.
done. I think that also
Yeah.
marks us having it out on every single major platform, which is
Yeah, I think so.
a milestone.
That
for
is
us.
definitely an excellent milestone. So we're on everything. We're everywhere.
You can't escape.
You can't escape Idle Champions. Mencia is asking if we've considered doing events that have reward tiers that could be earned by the community as a whole for total levels completed.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we have. In fact, did we do one? Did we? I have this vague recollection that we might have done something like that.
What?
But maybe I'm wrong. I know we've done it across various other games, and it's really common in Bushwhacker. But yeah, I mean, something where I don't know why I'm thinking that we did this earlier. We may have, and maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. But I know we've done like the varying reward tiers, and then having community rewards where everyone works together to fill a bar, and then everyone gets the rewards as you go up the tiers. That is a great idea, and we've used it in various places. And I mean, if we could find a good place to integrate it into an upcoming event, or something that we do maybe less frequently than an event, but something that we do maybe every 3 or 4 months, I mean, that would be really cool too. Yeah.
Cool.
And that's always a fun one. It's often a little bit tricky to balance, just to make sure that that the community doesn't either get it all done immediately, or that it's too difficult and they don't get it done over that. You have to get that final goal inside of the time frame. Otherwise, you get halfway through and people realize they're not going to make it, and that's certainly
Disheartening.
Loss of morale on that one. Everyone just gives up. But yeah, that's a fun one for sure.
Are we planning another big event like last summer's one?
I don't know if I can say if we're planning a big event like that. Do you know if we can say?
I don't know what I can and can't say, which is great when I'm in front of a camera.
That's it. We will definitely have more big events like that.
We will have more big events,
definitely.
but
I can't say when or where, but for sure there will be more.
Yeah. Pitchfork time, apparently. Internal pitchforks. It's supposed
Internal
to.
pitchfork. I mean, at least it's not like Chris. He gets on stream and then he just tells you everything that's coming. He's like, "This is my plan for the next 6 months." It's like I got nervous.
No, I think he just he likes delighting people with you.
Yeah, people pleaser. That's it. Oh, you want to do this? Yes, absolutely. And
Let's do it.
Yep. It wasn't on the list, but it is now. Of course, that's always true. If someone has a really great idea, it's like, yeah, we were planning to do that. That's right here.
There was a question about Crusaders, if it will ever come to console.
I do not think that is likely. And the biggest reason for that is actually just the technology that it's built in. It's Flash. The consoles do not support Flash. We don't have alternate versions of the game, be they... well, I guess this is not entirely true because we do have an older version of the Unity one, but that's long since retired. And actually was the basis for Champions, but I digress. I think the answer is simply no, because of the amount of work that would be involved in converting it to that sort of platform. So I wouldn't count on it. But I guess players probably are interested in knowing that with the coming death of Flash, we do intend to continue to support that, via the Steam client and potentially another downloadable client, so that certainly when that ends and you can't get it in your browser anymore, it'll still be available via those platforms.
Yeah. Apparently I have both Garwar and Dylan yelling at me in chat, which means I'm either doing something right or terribly, terribly wrong.
All right.
We'll see.
Angry yelling or broken hearing aid yelling?
Flower Sifter is asking about the specifics of progression in multi-adventure mode. Would it be 60 areas per hour? Because I believe offline progress calculates as 1 area per minute.
I don't have the exact numbers on the top of my head, but I do know that there are certain time constraints based on how fast the maximum amount of how quickly you can go through an area is part of the calculation. And then of course if you've got speed potions active and other things.
Sorry, 1 area a minute.
1 area a minute, is that?
Yeah.
It's 1 area a minute. All right, it's good to have that on hand. Yeah, I would assume for now that it's going to operate the same way offline progress operates. But again, as we start testing this and getting this something that's actually in front of players, if that doesn't feel right, or if it doesn't work the way people are expecting to see it work, like if something just doesn't click and they expect to come back and get more than there was there, or less, or whatever the difference may be, the intention is to make it feel like that game was happening while you were off in your other, whatever instance was your active one. So yeah. But for now, it's based on the offline progress rules. So.
Cool. There's also some interest in the skull mug behind you.
The skull mug?
Yes.
Yes, this is my my pen holder.
That is a mighty holder of pens. Does that have holes in it? No, the holes are covered up.
Oh, for the eyes?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually a mug. I think it's like a stainless steel lining, but I always find drinking out of the stainless steel and have a bit of a taste to it, so I just use it for pens.
Pens. Yes. And I think this is more of a Justin and Chris question, but I will ask to see if you know. Giantdorf is asking if the Explorer or Founder packs are going anywhere soon.
Explorer Founder packs. I don't have the exact schedule on those. I know at some points we do plan to refresh those items or items similar to them, and then have new versions. But I don't have a timeline on those particular items. So expect new items, new packs like that at some point, for sure. But I can't give a date. We don't have it scheduled to say, okay, we're going to retire this now and then it's going away. And if we did, I probably shouldn't be telling you that, but
Okay. And BMGBXGA is asking, hi, is there any soft-capped increased plan for the future, like the one we had a few months back? We will likely do one again, but those are not something that we do very often, maybe once or twice a year, I think is safe to say. So, yeah. David's nodding. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't messed it up.
Yep.
And Umaro 900 is asking Alcuria or Modron automation, which comes first? I believe I know the answer to that. I believe the answer is no comment, but if it isn't, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, I would add a comment on the soft cap, and that is that we are working on tech to get us past the large number problem. So limit of the size of doubles. And so when that's all finished, then that will actually make it easier for us to push those up. So there's there is a barrier, a technical barrier that we are busy attempting to get on both the WebGL and the Unity version sorted so that we can do that. And I'll tell you at this point, the Unity one is sorted and the WebGL one is in progress. So
great. There we go. The more we know. There's a request if they could have more information on rules and what does and doesn't work in offline progressed. That could be accessible, which is...
That's a fair request.
That's a fair request. That makes sense. Well, that's exciting. And there are some people asking for more hints on on the hidden codes. One of them is is for Quillic, and the one that is for Evelyn is a temple of Lathander. So there we go.
Even I don't know the answer, so I can't help you. Sorry.
Like, make things up every week. Okay. What do you play in Descent to Avernus? Into Avernus. I know that's the campaign that you're currently playing, but I don't know what character you play.
That is... It's like, it's been so long. Let me back up. Okay, recall. Yes, I am playing a cleric.
You're playing cleric. Okay.
Wants to be a mage or a wizard. Yes, whichever it is. Which one is it? Which one is the D&D one? I'm this
wizard.
Awful. Wizard. It's a wizard. Yes. And so it's actually resulted in because we've had so little time that the progress, like I'm leveling, hasn't been occurring. So my stats are designed to go from from cleric to wizard. Unfortunately, because we're not gonna get to that point anytime soon. I'm actually just a really understated cleric, which is really not helpful. And I should have known this was going to happen in advance, but I went ahead with it anyway. So
I respect the conviction.
And then additionally, for whatever reason, I roll terribly. So we've had some pretty near-death experiences that occur just because, all you need is a 13. Why can't I roll a 13? It's like 7, 2, 3, 7. It's like, forget it.
Not happening? Okay.
Yeah, and then I think Sean, who joined our game, was just the last time we actually had a chance to play, he was just getting every hit. So I mean, just making us look bad, or at least my cleric, who wishes to be a wizard.
There we go. And they found one of the hidden codes. They found the Evelyn one, so that's exciting. Morning Glow Tower. It's another temple of Lathander, because there is a wealth of architecture in the Forgotten Realms.
Now, how quickly does that disseminate once they find that code? It's probably in the Discord already, and go.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, it's almost instantaneous. It's amazing. And that's a very scary channel.
The codes channel?
Yes.
I think the scary thing about that channel is attempting to enter each one of those codes individually with a gamepad.
Oh, that's fair. That is a fair point. Death01 is asking for our numbers problems. Why use doubles instead of float e to the integer as in buckets, like it's done in Crusaders?
So the answer to that is the quad number, which is the implementation of that lets us have substantially higher than e to the 308, which is our double limit, isn't a like a default class. It's not something that's built into C#, and it's not something that's built into JavaScript for the WebGL version. So both of those require us to implement our own versions of those, and so both of the engines initially didn't have that, and so we actually have to get our own implementation of those particular number formats, and then change everything to use them. I think the reason we didn't start with them is because we actually hadn't solved that problem in Crusaders at the point at which we started the code base for Champions. So I didn't start with it, and then it ends up being a fairly substantial change, because it ends up affecting practically every number in the game.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that's the answer, is that because it wasn't a default, it's not a default provided thing, and we didn't start with it in the initial engine. And I think early on, so even in Crusaders, we didn't know if we were actually ever going to push beyond that number, and then it became a case of like, actually things have gone on for so long, we actually have to, if we want to have any meaningful progression past where we were at. And so it ended up being a problem that had to be solved, and now because we hadn't solved it initially, we have to solve it twice.
Right.
So, and the JavaScript one is the one that's still in progress, and it's got some fun technical issues with the JavaScript, because unlike the C#, which when you make a change, the compiler tells you, hey, you're putting the wrong number here, but we can fix that. The JavaScript one does not. Instead, it only errors out when you try to run it. So it's a bit of a slog.
Gotcha.
So,
thank you for the detailed thank you for the detailed explanation. I find it very enlightening, and I'm sure the community does as well. So
that's what I'm here for. Long-winded technical explanations.
Yay.
Twitch viewers.
Yay.
Down.
No. Because it's nice. It's here, and it's more effective than playing telephone through me.
Yep, that's fair.
But with that being said, it's 4 minutes to the hour, and to respect our schedule and the schedule at D&D, I'm going to wrap us up for the afternoon. So that's our show for Thursday, May 21st, 2020. Thank you for joining us today and participating in the Idle Champions and Dungeons & Dragons communities. You're all awesome. The show exists because of a number of amazing people behind the scenes, including our co-producers Erica and Sasha, as well as our partners at Dungeons & Dragons, Greg, Bart, Pelham, Allison, Schelling, and Lisa. Thank you again for joining me, David. And take care, champions, and see you tomorrow for Griddle Champions and Garwar's Guide to Everything in Idle Champions.
Thanks, Margaret.
Thanks.